So here we are with episode 13, the final episode of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. I currently can't remember what happened in the last episode, so I'll figure it out once we get into this episode. But I do want to thank y'all for sticking around, especially the people who have been here since the first episode. Really appreciate ya, and I hope, I hope to see you around still. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal shows on my YouTube memberships. But other than that, let us get started. New glasses. They're like half rims and everything. Oh, so it's not actual? So it's not prescription? She's effectively forgotten her glasses. Oh, you try it. Ah. These are the ones that's like, that she had from like the trip? Oh, oh, she wants it permanent. And then you can take a selfie at home. Oh, her actual glasses. Oh, now she can just see you in HD. I love the eye transformation. That intro was nothing but just Komura going, ee! Huh? Huh? What? I know. You see how thick her hair is? It's one of her other friends, whose name I still haven't gotten yet. Oh, damn, dude. That was quick. She braided her hair like that? Damn, fast. Oh, there it is. Toyama. I don't. You really think so? I know that her intelligence goes down when her glasses are off, but... Why can't it be both, huh? She doesn't want to put her cap on because of the braid? Well, she can always get it done again, you know? Alright, dude. Yasuka's working right next to Asuka. Post-pool edition. You know, just looking at like that, it's she would look good with short hair too. You're literally freaking about nothing. She's undoing it. Dude, she must have like a really bad neck and back if she spends the majority of the... Ooh. Hey girl, you messed up my English book. Hopefully you don't have to pay for the damage. I mean, I would assume you bought this yourself and you didn't borrow it. He said it out loud. Not really. It's less of a glare and more that she can't fucking... Oh. Oh, she's coming back with it. I will say she looks good with short hair. She also looks really nice with like that braid. She's like, oh, you like that haircut, huh? Yeah. I was like, what? Flapjack octopus. They are very cute. Octopi? You can tell. Yeah, her dad like classmate. Ooh, yeah, maybe when she asks you out, you know? She gets to see you wear your clothes outside of school. It's an elementary friend. Ooh, is she gonna get close to him? Oh, he thinks that she's going to do it to... Or you can continue to be a creep and listen in. Come on now, Komura. Come join the rest of us. We can't get off this ride. Or maybe we are. I guess we are following Komura after all. It's the next day. Look at her in a high ponytail. She certainly hasn't forgotten her to tie her hair up. Oh, tell me all about it. Oh, he was so insignificant in her life. Couldn't even remember his face. And also because she forgets her glasses all the time. Meanwhile, she's trying her best to remember your face. Once she remembers her glasses, she's going to forget you? That just sounds like she doesn't have enough memory in her space. Gotta toss one thing out to put another one in. There's Hibuchi. Oh, because you're here? Damn you. She suddenly stops forgetting. Buchi. Ah, the closing ceremony. Summer break. We? Oh, and also study. Why can't y'all just... Gotta study, can't hang out, you're going out on vacation without her? Wait, it does not... Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, it does not end here, right? How dare he? The exact opposite. Yeah, meanwhile, that boy just makes fun of me. The classic tactic of, I kinda like you, and that's why I'm going to bully you. Well, become her official dad. We still got the Valentine's Day plan, don't we? Komura? She's sad that she can't see you again. Y'all gonna make a promise over summer break? Spend a little bit more time. Well, hopefully you're wearing shorts. She had to check. Oh, that's... No, that's also not good, but... There's nobody here to see her in her underwear anyways, so... If you were to push her, you'd be behind her. Skeevy thoughts. We will now begin the viewing of your face. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Damn. That sounded like the Switch and the Joy-Con snapping. Mmm. Alright, now push her down the slide. She's already there. Ooh. Quality's better over airdrop. Damn iPhones. Oh, the selfie. Sweating does not make you a creep. Oh! Yeah. She took a picture with you and everything. I do love this music that kicked in. Don't forget about me. You're over here thinking about whether she's going to forget about you. But here she is. Oh, I even grabbed her by the wrist, grabbed her by the hand and everything. But tomorrow's summer break! Damn. Can't just say, I just want to hang out. Well, it's saying I want to see you, I guess it's a lot heavier in the implication than just, I want to hang out. It's summer break, the cicadas, they've come out. Who's this, oh my god. I was wondering why they were showing that scene of her with the ice cream. They've met each other? Who? And he took your glasses? What an asshole! Alright, I'm going to tell my parents on you. Dad knows what's up, but Dad, you need to Dad, you need to That's definitely how they get girls to like you, you know? Just pick on them. Oh! I'm used to living the blind life. Damn, dude! Mia's out here just... Savagery! Bye! See you later! My potential husband! This guitar just sounds like it's some fucking teen TV show. Why is that? Why is it like that? Why is the picture not centered? What? What the? That certainly was an episode, that's for sure. The first part, right, with the whole, like, hair braiding and, like, him looking at the hair stuff and all that, that's whatever. The continuing of, summer break coming through, and then him seeing her, one of her elementary schoolmates, right, previously. And then, like, the idea of, like, oh, is she going to forget me if she remembers her glasses? Because she has the fear of, like, well, maybe I'm just like that Issei guy. And she's going to forget me, like, how she does for him. Sorry, this sound, I have the volume a little bit too high. I cannot hear myself talk. Well, once this is over, I'll go back through it, but I'm also just going to stop talking about, like, all the things that Komura is missing, just because, like, we in the audience, we know. So, like, I'm just over here trying, now I'm just, right now, maybe I'm trying to look at it through Komura vision instead of, looking at it through the lens of an outsider, or in this case, the lens of everybody else in the fucking classroom. Because they know what the hell's going on. But alright, we're gonna get back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 13 of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty alright episode, and I'm just... Maybe the word befuddled is appropriate. And before I continue, I'm going to search up befuddled because I feel like I know I always have an idea on what words mean, but I just need to be sure. Yeah, unable to think clearly. Confused or perplexed. That's certainly how I feel. I feel befuddled about this episode. I just can't think. So let's just get right into the beginning of this, right? So, in the beginning, we've got the whole fashion glasses thing again, which we remember that she had worn it during the school trip, and so these glasses don't have prescriptions. So here she is, blind yet again, and this whole entire thing was just, was it just the idea of her wanting to see him with glasses on, and also she wanted him to take fucking selfies, right? I wanna have that. And also, I want to have it permanently on my phone. Thank you very much. But she found out she's got her glasses, so, she ends up staring at him. I thought that this was a good intro bit. But other than that, we hit on over to June 17th, as they say. That's, and then we hit, July 17th, and then we hit July 18th. But during this first half, it's just really just him talking about Mie's hair and him going back on his boyish nature or whatever, going back on the things that he wants to do, but he stops himself because he's just like, whoa, I'm being a bit of a creep. I'm staring at her for too long. I don't want my classmates to get the wrong impression of me. Again, we're a little late for that, but he doesn't know that, right? Komura doesn't know that. We, as the audience, we know. We've got the whole idea of Mie having her hair tied up or having her hair braided, and we kind of know before that Komura sees her, and he's just, whenever she has, her hair tied up, right? He's just like, whoa, that looks pretty nice. And Mie picks up on that, and I if I remember correctly, he did say that as well, which is why she kind of ended up continuing with, having her hair tied up and everything. And so, yeah, this whole thing, as I said before, it's him seeing what he likes and then him backtracking on it because he feels like an icky person. I guess the best way that I can kind of have some sort of comparison to is the way that Gojo from My Dress Up Darling looks at why can I not remember the name of the main girl in My Dress Up Darling. Hold on, let me just go back to my notes. I've written notes for My Dress Up Darling, haven't I? Marin, there you go. Goodness gracious. The way that he's thinking, as I said, I feel like the closest comparison that's in my head at the current moment is the way that Gojo thinks about Marin. And it's the, if you don't know My Dress Up Darling and all that, the way, and it's also, they're in high school and whatever. I don't know, maybe it's a little different, but the way that Gojo sees her is that he feels some sort of sexual attraction towards her, but she is the first friend that he's ever had, and so he feels icky knowing that despite them just being friends, he's having these sort of fantasies about her, and he obviously he doesn't want to show that to her, and so that's why he gets very he gets very insecure about the way that he thinks about her, right? And so that's what I'm kind of seeing in Komura right? Where from his perspective, Mie has told him that he is very dad-like. And so he's over here like, well, fuck, I've got dad zoned. I didn't even get friend zoned, I got dad zoned. And so, because he now understands his place in the world, or his place in Mie's world, he feels guilty. And I know that he's kind of has done these things before as well, right? Where he's trying to like fight back against his urges. But now knowing especially that his place in her world is a dad-like figure. So, you know, he's just like, I don't wanna have these urges. It's coming up, but like I can't help myself, but I'm trying to pull myself back because we're not on this level where I'm able to have these thoughts about her because she is my daughter. I am her dad. So in that sense, I was throughout the whole entire episode, I was just like, what the fuck's going on? Why is he like this? Because I'm still in my mind thinking about it from like an outside perspective. So like right now I'm trying to look at it through his lens instead, right? Try to understand him better. And I think the best way for me to understand him is to compare him to Gojo from My Dress Up Darling. Over at Mie's side, we know that Mie is trying to get his attention, right? We know that she thinks that he's special to her, and she hopes that she is special to him as well. And so we see that she's been trying to lay the moves on him, essentially. And with the whole braiding stuff, she starts to realize that, you know, he's kind of been staring at her throughout this whole thing. And I love that within like the 6-minute mark, where as she you know, she's gotten her hair down and everything, and he lets it slip that, oh man, you know, maybe Maho could, he stops, and she sees that, and she's just like, wait a minute, what's this about Maho, right? It's not even the idea of, oh, are you interested in her or anything, it's the idea of, oh, she's the one who did the braids, and now you're asking, oh, is she going to do it again? And so she just goes out, she gets Maho to do it again. And you just see that nice little smile on her because she knows that he likes it, and he stares at her when it happens. You know, it's kind of like that feeling of like, even if she might be blind during this time, she still kind of has an idea that maybe Komura is staring. You know, it's like the idea if you feel like somebody's watching you or something. Maybe Mie gets that, and she's just like, I know Komura's staring at me right now. So, you know, maybe she knows that he's a little disappointed that she took her hair down, and now here she is with it back up again. And, well, I've already mentioned before that she looks really good with short hair. I think she would look good with short hair as well, but I think she looks especially good with her hair up as well. I think that's that really suits her, so good job for, and Mie knows it, that's why she keeps doing it. Good for you, Mie. You go get that bag. Even though this bag is desperately trying to run away from you. Also here with Komura having the thoughts of, is it really okay for me to be walking home with her? To which, you know, if I'm trying to look at it from Komura vision, if she thinks that you are like a dad-like person to her, I don't know, you're her dad walking around. But he's also trying to reason it with it, like, oh, Asuka and Maho, they have club activities, so they can't walk home with her, and that's the only reason why she's walking home with me. Alright? That could possibly be the only reason why. This is him just trying to justify it and everything. Also, I forgot, Mie did ask about, like, what kind of fish do you like? And then she goes and she's like, oh, what kind of clothes do you like? Right? This is Mie trying her best to do a little small talk, but also try to get some sort of information out of him. There's a doggo barking, so 1 second. Okay, what was I talking about? Mie trying to get some sort of information out of Komura. Alright, and she continues to have the mention of the flakjack octopus, right? I love flakjack octopuses, octopi. And it's nice, right? She's just trying to get as much detail as possible out of Komura, but Komura, he doesn't see it, right? Because he only knows that, oh, I'm like her dad to her, so that's the only thing, right? Maybe she's just trying to get more information out of her dad. Alright. As he was about to go, he overhears a conversation between Mie and Issei, and he realizes that this is an acquaintance, right? Someone that she knew back in elementary, and in his mind, he thought that she was going to do this to him as well, where she has to like get up to his face and look at him and everything, because he would assume that she's going to do that to everybody, right? She did that to me, and that means that she does it to everybody. That's how that goes. But she doesn't. And he feels slightly relieved, and, you know, he's about to leave and everything. And then he sees the expression on Issei and such. And later on, we find out from Mie that this boy used to bully her, essentially. Used to tease her and all that. And as Mie's dad says, oh, it's because he just wants to be your husband later on. And, you know, it's good husband material when they start off bullying you, when they start off stealing your glasses. To which, look, Mie's dad, the actual dad and not Komura, you need to know when you need to put your fucking foot down, alright? You can't just go tell Mie that, oh, he just wants to be your husband later on in the future. You have to be like, this boy stole your glasses? I'm going to call his fucking parents. Right, you better give me my daughter's glasses back, or else I'm gonna come over there, and I'm gonna, I don't know, let's, look, as much as I enjoy advocating for violence in anime, I don't do it, I don't want violence in real life, so, you know, just be really I will do something, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you better give my daughter's glasses back. But yeah, it kind of goes through that whole idea, right? Boys do a little bit of bullying on the girls that on girls that they like. Sometimes I speak a little bit too fast for my mouth, for my brain to keep up. Oh yeah, we also had this one small conversation with Hibuchi, where Hibuchi just mentions her contacts, and then Komura wonders, like, do you sometimes forget your contacts? And Hibuchi is just like, you're talking about Mie, aren't you? And then she just drops the dad zone to him, too. She's over like, yeah, you are kind of like her dad, aren't you? But the conversation between Mie and Issei is what brought Komura into the idea of, well, if she has forgotten him, which actually kind of goes back to the idea of, oh, if this happened to them, it's going to happen to me. Well, before that, what I said was, if it happens to me, it's going to happen to everybody. But now it's like, if it happens to him, then it's going to happen to me as well. So, Mie has forgotten Issei. She has forgotten what his face looks like. That's going to be me later in the future, especially the only reason why I'm still around, right? And he's still reasoning about that in his head. Like, the only reason why I'm still around her, why I'm only hanging out with her most of the time when I'm hanging out with her, is because she's forgotten her glasses, and it's because I'm out here helping her because she's forgotten her glasses. But if she forgets one day about forgetting her glasses, if she remembers one of these days, and suddenly she'll never forget her glasses ever again, is she going to forget me as well? Which I made the joke of, like, wow, she ran out of fucking memory space, or she ran out of storage, she had to delete stuff in order to put more stuff inside her brain. I mean, that is essentially what our brain do, right? We start to forget things as we grow up, and your brain is just, it's not essentially tossing it out, but it's, you know, just shuffling it to, like, the corner of the room. You know, you might have, like, some sort of memories about it, but, like, you can't just go to that corner of the room and just easily pick it out and be like, oh, I remember this, right? It has to be, like, some sort of strong reminiscence that makes you remember about certain things and such. So, but it kind of makes him go into the idea of, if she's going to forget about me in the future, what can I do in order to get her to not forget about me? Which kind of makes me think back about your Valentine's Day stuff. Like, come on, Komura, you said it before, you want next Valentine's to be where BA gives you chocolate, but not as a friend chocolate, which kind of implies the idea that you want her and you to be above the level of friendship, and also above the level of father and daughter relationship, I guess. So that's just the one part that kind of frustrates me when I'm speaking about it in like an outsider's perspective, right? And it's like, we have this whole thing, so like, I just want you to continue with it, but you can like take a few steps back if you want, and I think that's totally fine as long as you're continuing to move forward. I think that's, and so it just feels like that whole thing that he did with Valentine's Day, during Valentine's Day, and what he wants to do next Valentine's Day, it just kind of feels like he has moved it to the corner of the room, and he just kind of forgets about it because there's just all these new information that's just coming into his head right now, and he's just being overloaded, right? He got dad zone, he feels extremely insecure about himself, he feels like he doesn't have a dream, he feels like he's just a fucking mob character who has nothing special about him, and such, right? He has all these new overloading information, that whole thing about the Valentine's Day just being put in the corner. But hopefully, right, with the idea of him being like, hey, I want to get to the point where where you won't forget about me. Which, you know, he kind of goes through that towards the end. But let's continue with this whole thing. Hold on. Well, I did talk about how, like, Issei is, you know, bullying for love or whatever. You know, I was thinking about, like, this whole fucking thing of, like, boys bullying girls or teasing girls for, because they like him, and it kind of makes me think about, like, how we've gone the opposite of that, I was gonna say symptom. I was gonna say trope too, but it's something that happens IRL, so, like, I mean, I guess it is still a trope in terms of stories. But it kind of makes me think about how, like, that has been reversed in a lot of rom-coms nowadays, where it's the girl that's teasing the guy because they like him. That sort of feel, and I thought that was very funny and interesting. Anyways, they had a nice moment where the both of them just stared at each other inside the playground, so good for them, you know? Great stuff. And so Mie sends the selfie that she took with her and Komura, and around this time, and also this is him, you know, just continuously taking multiple steps back, or he's looking at this picture and he's just like, oh man, I'm so sweaty, to which, I mean, you were basically trying to fucking do a whatever that fucking thing that you were trying to do, right? So you were working up a sweat. Understandable. He's over like, I'm so sweaty, and she's just like, yeah, you look really sweaty. And now he's like, oh man, now she knows that I'm a creep, because we all know creeps, they sweat. If I see you sweating, you're a creep. To which, you know what? I've had episodes where I'm like literally sweating from my forehead. I'm probably about to do it again because it's a hot day today, and I just had to close my window because the dog's barking. So like, I'm cooking in this room right now. Which means I'm a creep. Oh shit! Me in this part says, oh, you're sweaty. It's probably because you've got a warm body, right? You've got warm hands. So I wonder how warm your body is. No, it's like, goddamn. Actually, hold on. Okay, here it is. Wait, she says, maybe it's because you're warm. Mie-san logic. He has to categorize that into Mie-san logic. So she says, you have warm hands. Maybe your whole body is warm. And I'm like, woo, goddamn, Mie. You know? Maybe it's winter time. And you need an extra pillow, you know? He's a portable heater out here. Women love portable heaters, don't they? I don't know. But with this picture, Komura looks at this and he says, maybe it might be alright. As long as we have something to look back on, she might remember me. Especially if she took the selfie herself. Of course she's going to remember it. I mean, for like the immediate future anyways, right? We don't know about like 50 years from now on, maybe she might forget it, but who can blame her? Man, I was just looking at this. I was looking at Komura's eyes, and I'm like, what are these creases? I get the first crease. I just don't know what's going on here. Although the creases, if you've erased them, it's starting to make me realize how far apart his eyebrows is from his eyes. Anyways, I'm scared. So we had this part where they show this, and at first I was just like, wait a minute, we have not seen this before. What's going on? What is this? But they show us it afterwards. And also, this is after him telling her that he wants to hang out with her, or he wants to see her, right? I want to see you tomorrow, if not tomorrow, sometime during summer break. And this also gives a relief to Mie, because she felt a little sad knowing that she's not going to be able to hang out with him during the whole summer break, right? They have to study for summer break, for the entrance exam, and Komura is going on a vacation with his family, and it's just like, well, fuck, where am I gonna put my time? Where am I going to be able to put my time into your schedule, since you're so fucking busy? But here's Komura assuring her that he wants to see her, right? That gives her some sort of relief, knowing that, okay, we are going to see each other during summer break. That's fine. To which I would say, why can't y'all just study together? You don't have to study apart. You can study together for summer break. Come on now. And so that leads us on to one of the final scenes where we see that, oh my god, they have known each other, they have met each other before when they were kids. Who would have thought, Big surprise. Who would have thought? And also, it kind of makes it an understandable thing that Mie probably wouldn't have recognized him as a kid and how he is right now, because he had black hair before and he dyed his hair in middle school, and she doesn't have her glasses on, so she doesn't recognize who he is, and she doesn't remember faces, especially when she's, doesn't have her glasses on. So kind of understandable that I would assume that this is Komura who's remembering this, because as Komura says, I don't really remember too much about my elementary days, because back in those days, I was just a robot. I was just a machine. I was just going along with the flow. I can't remember anything. So as he gained his consciousness after meeting Mie, his memories are just starting to flow back to him, I would assume. So I do like that they showed this scene with the two of them together. And I like that this is how they, for the most part, this is sort of how they ended it. Because if they had ended it with the whole hair thing, I wasn't going to be happy. But this is just them talking about, oh yeah, I just realized, you know that it's the olden days, right? When they were still in elementary, when there weren't all those other vending machines here. But yeah, she talks about Issei and how he bullies her, and he literally stole her fucking glasses. What an asshole. Again, as I said, her daddy to put his fucking foot down on that boy's throat. But no. His metaphorical foot down that boy's throat. Anyways, here we have Mie being an utter savage. She's just out here like, look, if I wanted a husband, I want someone who is nice as you. You, who are husband material. Or he also offered to walk her home and everything, right? She's like, you're a nice boy. Anyways, maybe my husband should be a kind boy like you. Alright, goodbye, future husband material. She just leaves. She just drops this bomb. She's just like, bye. Utter savagery. But as I have now gotten through the episode again, or at least skimmed through the episode again, and just placing myself in the mind of Komura and not really talking much about, like, from an outsider's perspective, as I've mentioned, I do like the way that it ended, right? With the first half with, like, the whole hair stuff, I don't really care much for it. The second half with him fearing about her, forgetting about him, and then her being sad that she won't be able to see him throughout the whole entire summer break, and now the both of them knowing that they are going to continue to see each other, and both of them have been reassured by one another for the most part. In terms of Komura's side, Mie is definitely reassured with Komura being up straight and saying, hey, I want to see you during summer break. So, and with Komura, feeling reassured that he's not going to be forgotten, because if she has a picture of him, right, and a picture of them hanging out, then there's most definitely the chance that she will remember him. And also, I forgot to mention this, with Mie mentioning that, hey, don't forget about me during summer break, right? She is bringing out her insecurity as well. And hopefully that has also helped reassure Komura that, oh, she has had the same thought as me, right? She fears that I was going to forget about her, just like how I fear that she's going to forget about me. So, very nice. I still don't know why this picture is not centered. Can't believe they ended off with this picture that's not centered. Why? Why is the picture like this? I hate it. Why is there more space above than it is at the bottom? What's going on here? And this is like a 4x9 picture. What the hell is happening? Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about this final episode. So I'm glad that I've managed to get myself out of that befuddledness. That befuddled feeling that I felt. I'm not gonna go on this for too long, just because I feel like I'm already, I'm sweating myself off right now. The anime as a whole, I feel like okay, I don't really remember too much within like the first. I was gonna say the first few chapters, but like we've gone through like, I don't know, 50-ish chapters or something during this whole thing, because the first few volumes are rather short chapters. So I can't go and say like I wish that they've taken the liberty to certain chapters and all that, because I don't know if they've actually have already taken the liberty and like swapped some chapters here and there, or if they're literally just going from like chapter by chapter, and that's how we had like the first half and how it feels all segmented and everything. So I can't really say that, since my only comparison that I have right now is BokuYaba, where I like the way that the anime is doing for BokuYaba. I like the liberty that they've taken. There are some nitpicks that I have, obviously. I feel like the more I love something, the more I will nitpick on it. I guess you can say my feeling towards anime or series that I love is the same way as how a boy in kindergarten would feel about a girl, right? They pick on him, they pick on her, and it's just kind of like me, where series that I really like, I have a lot more nitpicks on, but I still love the series as a whole. I can see the flaws in series I love a lot more, but I'm still able to just love it as a whole, right? Kind of like with Demon Slayer, it's one of my favorite series. Do I think it's perfect? Definitely not. I can point out so many fucking flaws in that series, but it's still one of my favorites, and I love it. Anyways, what was I talking about? BokuYaba. So like, the thing with BokuYaba is that I'm able to go through the chapters again, like with the anime, because I have the physical copies and all that, so I'm able to figure out where they've taken the liberty of switching a few things, but the way that they make it make the entire episode feel rather smooth. It feels like it's taken place in the same day, whereas in the manga it's probably taken over like a few couple days, because they're all very separate situations. But the anime makes it where they blend it all together, and it feels very smooth. It feels like it's been one whole day. Meanwhile, this anime feels like it's just going through chapter by chapter in terms of the adaptation. It's just going chapter by chapter, and there just really isn't someone who's just like, well, how about we have this chapter link up with this chapter, right, in order to try to make a much more smoother experience for anime watcher, because when it comes to these type of formats, it works a lot better in manga forms, because we're just kind of reading through it, and it's just like, oh, you can just go through this whole entire thing, and that's totally fine. But then when you see an anime, it's just like, all right, what's going on? And, it kind of, which is also one of the things that I like about, I can't say this for for all 4 mangas, or 4-panel mangas, right? I don't like 4-panel mangas. I can't really read it. my brain just explodes when I look at 4-panel mangas. I just don't particularly like the format of it, so like I cannot read it in manga form. But I love 4-panel mangas when it comes out to anime, and I feel like when it gets adapted very well, like 4-koma mangas, I feel for the most part feels very feel very smooth. I said feel multiple times in that sentence. But yeah, that's the way that I feel, especially maybe for something like Bocchi the Rock. But that being said, doesn't mean that when it was in 4-panel, it was all segmented or something. It could still continued on the story, but in a more 4-panel format. But I'm gonna get away from this topic now before I dig my own grave or whatever. So that's just the one major issue that I have. But if you have continued and listened to my discussions and all that, you know that I start to have a bit of a problem with Komura towards the end of all of this, just because I feel like we just haven't had a lot of setup for him. And someone in the comments kind of said it, where it really feels like we don't really get a lot out of him other than his constant internal dialogue about Mie and how about he's such a fucking creep and all that, right? We don't and it kind of makes me think like we don't really know all that much about Komura, right? It feels like whenever we see Komura talks, it's always something related to Mie. And it kind of makes me think, and if you're still here listening to this, I want to ask you, when you're thinking about Komura, do you know what he likes? Do you know what his hobbies are? To which we kind of do. He goes to the arcade, but like, what else other than all these? Like, what else of these nice little tidbits do you know about Komura? Right? And then compare that to Mie. What do you know about Mie compared to Komura? Right? And just try to give me like a list of what you know about Mie compared to what you know about Komura. Because it's I'm starting to think like, who is Komura? Who is this guy as a character? Other than the fact that he's got a crush on Mie, right? Who is he? I don't know. He likes playing video games. That's for sure. He likes going to the arcade. He's got friends, I guess. He's got Yasuka as a friend. I'm literally drawing blank, but I also have to say that I don't really remember all that much that had happened in the first half, just because, again, they're all very in chunks and just segments, and it just comes and goes, and I'm just like, whatever. So, I'm interested in that one. But I will say, I'm sorry for just continuously bringing up BokuYaba, but, you know, BokuYaba is my holy grail when it comes to rom-coms. When it comes to, like, character progression, I love it. And so, just on the concept of Season 1 of BokuYaba, I feel I have a better understanding of Ichikawa than I do Komura. And it's just because I feel like Ichikawa talks a lot more. He processes through his ideas a lot more than Komura is. And I think, and now I'm starting to say this, I'm starting to maybe come to a revelation where Ichikawa broods and thinks, and he has a lot of internal dialogue that's going on. He's got a lot of gears spinning inside him. And so he takes that, he thinks about it. But for Komura feels very reactionary. Not saying that Ichikawa isn't reactionary. He is very reactionary, especially when it comes to like comedic points. But outside of that reactionary, right, he still takes time to think about it. And Komura, I would assume he might have had some times, right, kind of like with him thinking about how like, oh, is she going to forget me and all that. But yeah, a lot of it really just feels like it's a reactionary feel that comes from Komura, and not a lot of thoughts, unfortunately. And so I don't know. Yeah, you know, in terms of like the whole music, music, in terms of like the anime and such, I can't really remember too much about the music. So there's that. When it comes to music, I like music, but if it doesn't really resonate with me or it doesn't really like stick in my head or anything, I do like the ending songs that they played towards the end of this episode. The animation is well, I've got my gripes with the animation, and I've mentioned it within the first half or so, and I stopped talking about it because if I were to talk about it in every single fucking episode, you're going to get very annoyed, right? The way that the clouds look, the constant shots of the school, the replayed shots of the school of like the students coming in, how ridiculously good the first episode looked. Like it was a little bit too much, and like I'm glad that they died down on like the production quality as we continue. Like Jesus, Mie's hair was fucking ridiculous. But yeah, the production for the most part, like it looks very shiny. Things look very shiny, and you can see like the sun glare on like the school buildings and everything. And like I feel the art is very nice, and like the art style and everything. I've mentioned like how they use the teeth. It's just very weird how like, especially when they show like only the teeth, it's a very odd decision. And I can't remember if that's because that's from the manga and everything, but I find it's a very odd decision to have like because like, you know, in most anime, when they're talking, you kind of just see the mouth and then like an infinite void that's inside their mouth. Or just because like it takes a little bit too much time to have to freaking animate teeth, right? And so the way that they show teeth, where like they only show a row of teeth, and like they only show like the bottom row of the teeth, or like they only show the top row of the teeth, it looks a little weird. It looks a little off, just because it feels like if you're gonna draw teeth, you might as well draw the gums as well. So it kind of just looks like there's just teeth. there's just teeth floating in their mouth or something. It looks like it'd just be easily detachable. But yeah, other than all those like minor issues that I have about it, I think the production was fine. And that's pretty much all I have. I just have qualms with the structure of the story. I have qualms with the way that they've dealt with the characters. And I think they did it fine for Mie, but like for Komura as a whole, it's just hard to be able to grasp on this boy. And you know, if I had to give a rating, but if you're ever interested, I always put ratings in my anime list, which is in the description and everything. But if I had to put a rating, honestly, it's like an honest feeling would be a 6 out of 10, but simply because of Mie, she pushes it up to a 7 out of 10. So that's currently how I feel. Like if you remove Mie from the equation, it definitely feels like a 6 out of 10 for me. But because Mie is a part of the equation, it accumulates up to it. She's literally 1 point. She's not to say that she's like 1 out of 10 or anything, but I'm saying that the way that she has it, right? She literally boosts it up by a point. And that's how I feel. Let me know what you think about this anime. And you know, if I have anything else to say, I'll write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate you. And if I don't see you in some other anime series or whatever, then I guess I will see you when I see you.